This is getting old. Every time I run you, I've got to change you from 3 to 10. I think you're going to get a new chip really soon. If I'm going to want to run the 40 in the other way and bury it behind another train, we've got to solve this problem. Alrighty, I am going to get to the point where this is finished tonight. I may go and have a shower and get cleaned up first. It's going to be morning, isn't it? By the end of this video, I will have a new front on this platform. That's the idea. And this is why projects take so long to finish. I keep getting interrupted by the 5:15 rushing past. It'll be 5:15 in the morning if I'm not careful. This is actually as fast as the computer allows this train to go. I wonder what speed that is. There really was a reason for doing this. At that speed, the train is running around about half of the full circuit. I'll have to have a think about that. Hold on. Yes, it's almost exactly a half of the circuit. It would normally come back on this track and then have to go around the other loop before getting back to here. So it's exactly half the full circuit, and it just took 1 minute 59 seconds. So I'm going to call that 2 minutes. So at this speed, it takes right around 4 minutes for a train to complete a full circuit of the layout. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Well, yellow buzzy tool it is then. Yes, it's DeWalt. All of my tools from electrical work are. I have no preference. But if you go yellow, you go yellow. If you go red, you go red. So that's not an endorsement of DeWalt. It's just that that's what I have. I was hoping we wouldn't come to this because it makes such a mess. I've got to avoid the 2 passengers still stuck on the platform. I've put one right underneath you. So look after them for me. This is actually, I'm just thinking while I'm making ridiculous noise, this is almost a worst case scenario. The platform there is glued and screwed down. It's too wide. The ballast is already in, the track's already in, so ripping it up is incredibly difficult. This is putting a reasonably good edge on the front of it. I'm not going to bore you with all of it. It's noisy, you can't hear anything, and you've seen me do, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. I'll rip out the rest and then we'll get back to you. Have fun. Well, I brought you back for a moment. Look who's come to see us. Hello, Shadow. I think she wondered what the noise was. The other things I wanted to show you, right here, if you can see the blade of my knife, I'm no ballast here, so it's easy to show you. As I go along, I'm cutting a little trench, which will allow me to adjust the height of the card or thick paper that I'm putting back in. The issue, of course, is that with all the ballast along most of this platform already, you can't just shove it in. It's going to stick up and look terrible. So I thought I'd show you that aspect of it before I finish. I almost lost him. I wondered where the passenger had gone. He's all the way down here. Let me show you how he's getting about. Hold on. Do you see him move? Poor guy. There's a couple of things you remember. I don't know if it's just me, but I can't remember making this platform at all. But once you start digging around, once I start digging around, you find things. You think, well, why is there filler in here? Why is there... And I remember now that the wood wasn't straight in the first place, and I had to level it. Do you see how getting it right the first time just saves so much heartache? It actually hasn't made as much mess as it could have. It's interesting, the vibrations from the buzzy saw have tumbled a few things off the shelf here, down there. There's a couple of passengers committing suicide, and our pillar from the canopy has made its way down there. But this is nothing a quick vacuuming won't cure, I hope. I did notice that the thing I feared most, this being completely stuck down, is not the case. There's probably a couple of dobs of glue or something. I wasn't at least foolhardy enough to spread out white glue and clamp it down or something. I don't remember. I really don't. Anyway, we're getting there. I will say I do like this tool immensely. It's very useful. One thing I've done, if you own one, let me show you, and that is bought a whole box full of cheap blades. These things, use once, throw them away. The reason is there's nothing worse than a broken or dull blade. These can get really expensive. You only have to hit one nail or use them to cut cardboard or something, and they're throwaway. So I use cheap blades and replace them often. I think I'll rescue him from breakdancing and put him up there for now, before we make him disappear. I actually think the most satisfying part of that job was using the vacuum cleaner. Nice. Nice, relatively smooth. You can feel the little undulations with your thumb, of course. Nasty one there. Nothing that won't cover up. Most of it is very, very good. I'm happy. So now the trick is getting on some brick paper, which I've got underneath the class 40, wasn't it, the first piece? So this will now just, oh, look at that, just drops in there. So a little bit of glue and we'll be done. So I'm going to cut up a couple of sheets of Metcalfe dressed gritstone. Says right on it, hold on, it's down here somewhere, there it is, upside down. Let me turn it over for you. There you are. And I already have a few more sheets on order. I like to have it in my toolbox. There's the residue. Lovely. I'm just checking that height is right. It is. Let me try it up the other way. 1 second. Yeah, that works. And then I'll have to find some white line to go along the front. Just noticed something. This had been cut off at some point. Huh. I've had this problem before, haven't I? Well, we're solving it. Now I'm cutting slivers 6 bricks wide. I'm wondering why my scissors weren't very sharp. Must buy a new pair. I think I have been, or sharpen these, I think I've been cutting stainless steel mesh with them. Can't think why I would have been doing that. Indeed. Well, there we go. I think I've got all of the pieces I need cut out of one sheet, which is encouraging. Now I've a sliver left over, 2 bricks tall, and I'm thinking, what can I do with that? One of the dangers of modelers and do-it-yourselfers is that we keep everything. And so a slither of paper with 2 bricks printed on it, I'll think of something. Here's a hammer. What can I hit? I should throw it out. But we're cursed, aren't we? We have a... I know, I'll keep that for another day. I'll think of something. But if not, I'll end up with another box, just like that one, which I haven't opened in years, and now I notice it, must fish it down and see what's in it. Certainly we do keep everything. That is, do you see the clips? That's a point motor cover from the other kind of point motors I used to use. But having 1 or 2 of these on the layout's one thing, but at every junction, I don't think so. Now, a very practical thing is obviously I need a slope on that, and I'll just run a pen down the back of it because the angle will be the same, and then I'll just move it back a little bit. Where 2 pieces join together, it gets interesting. I'm not going to zigzag the bricks, but what I will do is overlay them and cut both pieces at the same time, at very least. That way, whatever shape the cut is will at least match, and by doing that you can at least line the bricks up, if you see what I mean. Well, now here's how we're coming. We've done the first 3 sections. A few glitches. There's a little bit of an indent there. I'm thinking that will disappear once we get the white line on top and the canopy over the top. Certainly the 3-foot rule, this is just a hand's width away, it will do. Can't feel the joins, so we're getting somewhere. There is a little bit of a bump under that one, so I'm going to make sure I've got everything smooth before I put any more on, but I think we're good. Well, I'm more than happy with that. I'll show you properly later, but did you notice I did the back one first? That's because this one's going to be far more visible. Better get it right then. Here we go. Now, I think if it hadn't worked, you might have seen a grown man cry. One more platform for the station to try, haven't we? Now, the Gronk, to be fair, should never really need to get in there. But I was a little concerned that the king was also clipping, and that would be a much more difficult thing to sort out. Well, there you go. nicely. Now there's a apparent, you see that one there? That's actually straight on the brickwork, and the coping stones are further back. So that's a little repair I will have to do. But the big deal is we're not clunking. Now I'm going to have to stop it before it gets to the end, because I've got both hands tied up and that point is wrong. Yeah. There we go. We've come a long way. We've got a long way to go. Thanks for coming with me. See you next time.